Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, February 11th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We have archives at the top of the page, Wayback Machine, the Video Village, and lots of cool stuff. And of course, our strip right below what you're looking at right now is called Eye Candy. And I didn't lie to you yesterday. I told you that that thing that I put on there with that kid at UConn with the football, making these trick shots, was just an amazing string of videos, and that you'd probably forward it to everybody you know. I hope you did. Very, very cool video. All right, we're on the Big 550 KTRS every weekday from 10 in the morning until 1. We have Smash on Friday, Eric Mink on Tuesday, the ladies on Wednesday, professional comedian Joe Marlotti on Thursdays, and we've just added Lori Mack to the rotation. She'll be with us every Monday, beginning this Monday, on the Big 550 KTRS. That is in the 11 o'clock hour. Also, Monday is going to be our big Valentine's Day show. It's gotten pretty big over the years. I've collected a lot of cool things about the, shall we say, the man-woman experience on this planet. So we have that for you. And a very cool announcement that we're going to be doing the show from Lester's. Now, there's a couple of Lester's locations. The one we're going to be at is in Ladue on Clayton Road, right across from Sportsman's Park, and that's going to be Tuesday. By the way, I saw the weather forecast. It says it's going to be like close to 60 degrees, so it might be a fun thing to come out and have some lunch. Got those great corned beef and piled high pastrami sandwiches. Trish Gazelle, you know, our co-host and producer on the show, on the showgram, on the Big 550 KTRS, has been salivating ever since she found out that they have those really good pastrami sandwiches on rye. Ooh, a little sauerkraut and a pickle. Yikes, are you kidding me? So anyhow, we're going to be there on Tuesday because Tuesday afternoon at the White House, Stan Musial is going to be there to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And so we're going to be carrying that live starting at 12:30 on KTRS. But we're going to show up about 10 o'clock in the morning and do sort of a Stan Musial tribute show. And I got a lot of really cool stuff. I have to show you this. I'll show you something else on Monday. But in 1962, the Phillips 66 gas station, the petroleum company, came along and they got together with Joe Garagiola and Stan Musial and also dug up a bunch of old sound bites from like Musial's 3,000th hit. You know, there it is! Holy cow, he came through! You know, Harry Carey. It was a hitting instructional record. And I have had this thing since 1962. I was 9 years old. And a couple of years back, I had Stan dedicated it to me, autograph it. It's in a frame here in the house. This is the Stan the Man hitting instructional booklet. It came with a booklet that shows you all the different, you know, ways to bunt and, you know, stand at the plate and all that sort of stuff. And you open it up and it's got, you know, all this cool stuff on it, everything, how to hold the bat and everything like that. So I've been carrying that around since 1962. Anyhow, it was a hitting instructional album, record album, and I had to find a friend of mine who had a turntable, and we dubbed it the other day, and we have a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to be playing this on the air on Tuesday, and I am 99% sure that some of the stuff we're going to be playing for you are things you've never heard before. So that's going to be at Lester's on Tuesday from 10 until 1. You might want to give it a listen. I think it's going to be sort of a fun thing. All right, what do we got here? Also, next week, Jennifer Beals, who, of course, was in Flashdance and The L Word, and she's got a new hit show, Chicago Code, on Fox. And I'm going to get her to tell a little story that she told me years back, and it had to do with the fact that when she was very young, when she did Flashdance, and so she's, you know, getting her movie career started, and she had a couple of smaller roles in some movies and stuff. And she would show up, you know, 6:45 in the morning. Sometimes, you know, you have to get there real early when you're doing a TV show or a movie or something, and have an early call. And she pulls up into the movie lot, and as she's walking into the set, you know, walking through the sort of like gates or like Paramount Pictures or something like that, she's walking along and she sort of sees all these cars, but it appears as though there are people sitting in the cars. And she's thinking to herself, why are these guys just sitting in their cars instead of going into work? And as she would sort of weave her way through the cars, she would sort of look in and then realize, wait a minute, there's somebody in that car with these guys, but they're like hunched over, and I'm going to let her tell the story next week, okay? All right, this is like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, okay? The Hollywood Reporter, which is a sort of a trade magazine in Hollywood, for movies and TV and just the sort of the entertainment industry. 96% of fans want Charlie Sheen back on Two and a Half Men. But here's the weird part. 26% actually view Charlie as either much more or somewhat more favorably in the week of all of his trials and tribulations and scandals and transgressions and all that sort of stuff. What's going on there? How about Sean Penn nailing Scarlett Johansson? Nice work, my friend. Nice work. On the Today Show yesterday, they were trying to say that Zambonis cause long-term health care, especially to kids, because of carbon monoxide poisoning. One more thing to worry about. Yeah, Russell Brand is hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. A little of that guy goes a long way. People just hate him because he's nailing Katy Perry. Grammy Awards are on Sunday night. The Grammy Awards were the bee's knees for me back in the day, and now they got all that hip-hop crap. So usually I just watch it, and then when I record it and then I watch it on search, I'll slow it down and look at something if it looks like somebody's boobs are falling out or something like that. Elton John and Billy Joel, these two sound like an old married couple. Elton John goes into Rolling Stone magazine and calls Billy Joel an alcoholic. Then he goes on TV and says, oh yeah, Billy Joel hates me right now. He wants to punch me in the face, but it's tough love. So Billy Joel yesterday issues a statement and says, I do not hate Elton John. I do not want to, quote, punch him in the face. If he wants to call me, my number is still the same, and good luck with the movie being Romeo and Juliet, which features Elton John's music. Would you like to have a baby with an absolutely badass birth date? If you do, get started right now. Here's the deal. November 11th, 2011 is exactly 9 months from today. So if you conceive any time between today and the 18th, you would be on target for your child's birth date of being 11. Is that right? 11 at birth. There was an 11 missing here, so but you could have that. So go at it. I'm just going to think about that for a minute. In Chicago, a company has just introduced the beer marshmallow. Sounds about right for Chicago. It's a marshmallow that's covered with chocolate, then covered with a beer and pretzel dust. They're actually not very alcoholic. Sounds interesting. $10 for a 4-pack. Truffle.com is what you want to hit up for that. Okay, so somebody said, we're always doing movies about people who have superpowers. So if you, Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Public, had the opportunity to have some sort of superpower, what would it be? And time travel and mind reading tied for first place. They don't say if people wanted to go forward in time or back in time. Now, that's a whole nother subject. The ability to fly came in third, and teleportation came in fourth. Invisibility came in fifth. Invisibility would be the fun one. Let me just tell you something. Joe Garagiola is having a birthday tomorrow, Saturday. Joe Garagiola is going to be 85 years old. Grew up on the Hill here in St. Louis, across the street from Yogi Berra. So we say happy birthday to Joe. He was one of the first guys on television to sort of do this sort of pre-game thing, having a little fun, showing the lighter side of sports, showing the sports bloopers and stuff like that. He was the first guy to do that way back, I want to say late 50s, maybe not late 50s, probably early to mid 1960s. Like you'd turn on the World Series and they'd give Joe like a 15-minute pregame show, sort of a warm-up, and he would talk to the players, but he'd show a lot of bloopers and goofy stuff, and pretty much invented the whole idea of that sort of stuff in its application. Peter Gabriel, having a birthday on 61. This guy is just, I'll listen to anything Peter Gabriel puts out, and I think most people will too. And he has the unique distinction of, for 10 years, having cohabitated with Rosanna Arquette. I don't know what I am more in admiration of, his musical career or the fact that he was nailing Rosanna Arquette, but that's something to think about, and I will just go ahead and do that for a few minutes. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. It's going to be hard to top yesterday's, and we still keep it in the archives. So if you want to see yesterday's and you missed it, go ahead. Watch this kid with this football. It's unbelievable. So like I said, sort of a hard act to follow, and I promise this is going to be it for Super Bowl aftermath, okay? But somebody came along from Adweek magazine and posted a 2-minute montage that includes clips from all 61 commercials that aired during the Super Bowl. It's just like flash, 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 so you see all that stuff. And then that's it for the Super Bowl because pitchers and catchers report on Sunday, and then we're going to shift everything towards baseball. So there it is, JC's Daily Dose for Friday, February 11th, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.